Roll out of your red coffins and get out your eulogies because we have your backstage pass to Hollywood.
In 5,
4,
3, 2,
Are
are
you
you
ready?
ready?
Creatures of the night, welcome back to Backstage Pass, where we give you the scoop on all things entertainment. My name is Lucas Alvin.
And my name is Patrick O'Hara, but you already knew that, didn't you?
This episode of Backstage Pass is Halloween themed, so let's jump scare right into things.
It's safe to say it is not game over for Saw, as the franchise has just released its 10th installment to the beloved film series. Saw X jigsawed its way into theaters on September 29th, causing blood to only thicken. Many critics took to social media to describe the film as the strongest entry of the series since the first original film.
If you're talking about Saw X, then it would be a crime not to mention the release of Paw Patrol, the Bunny movie. Yes, you heard that correctly. I did say Paw Patrol. Social media was buzzing after noticing that both movies released on September 29th, leading many to refer to it as Saw Patrol. People began associating it with the Barbenheimer phenomenon. And needless to say, we live in an interesting time for double features.
We also live in a time where there are so many more spooky movies that deserve attention and appreciation this spooky season. Luckily, our third host, Kayla McRae, is going to give us a nice little, is here to tell us all about her favorite Halloween movies of all time. So make sure to get out your to-watch list and take notes. Take us to the take it away, Kayla.
Hey ghouls, it's yours truly, Kayla McRae. Happy fall and happy spooky season. It's that time of year where we all curl up on our couches and watch our favorite spooky movies. I've got my witch hat on, and I'm here to tell you about some of my favorite cult classics. A lot of these are oldies but goodies. Now, I cannot start this list off with any other movie than Ridley Scott's iconic sci-fi horror, Alien. This movie was released in 1979 and stars Tom Skerritt, Ian Holm, Yaphet Kotto, Veronica Cartwright, and most importantly, Sigourney Weaver as the trailblazing Ellen Ripley. The film follows 7 members of the starship Nostromo, who face a deadly enemy that kills them off one by one, the xenomorph alien. This film is Sigourney Weaver's breakout role, and the other movies in the Alien franchise and famous flicks like the Avatar films are ultimately what gave her the title of sci-fi queen. Ellen Ripley has to be one of my favorite horror sci-fi characters of all time. She's calm and sensible in the face of danger even when she's terrified. A true heroine. Next on this list is Tim Burton's Beetlejuice. Released in 1988, this movie stars a young Winona Ryder as the iconic goth girl Lydia Dietz, Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin as ghost couple Barbara and Adam Maitland, and Michael Keaton as the titular Beetlejuice. Other supporting cast includes Catherine O'Hara, Jeffrey Jones, Glenn Shaddix, Sylvia Sidney, and Dick Cavett, the 70s talk show host? Interesting. The newlywed Maitlands die in a freak car accident and are stuck haunting their house for eternity. When the Dietzes move in their home, to their dismay, they hire bioexorcist Beetlejuice to get rid of it for them. But things go totally awry. I love the whimsicality in the art direction and the iconic cast performances, especially Michael Keaton channeling creepy ghost and uncle energy. But most of all, the relationship between the Maitlands and Lydia Dietz. Their kinship is so wholesome to me. If you ask me, the Maitlands are my favorite horror movie couple. They are the sweetest and totally swoon-worthy, even when they turn their faces inside out. Give this movie a watch if you haven't seen it. Next film is another sci-fi horror, David Cronenberg's The Fly. Released in 1986 and starring Jeff Goldblum, Gina Davis once again, and John Getz. This film is actually a remake of the 1958 film of the same name. Goldblum is mad scientist Seth Brundle, creator of the teleportation pod. A freak accident occurs one day when testing his invention. It causes him to fuse DNA with a fly. A slow but horrifying transformation occurs, and his significant other, Veronica, portrayed by Davis, has to watch him decay and transform into something totally alien. Both a psychological, grotesque body horror and a tragic love story, this movie balances it all so well and it rips me to shreds every time. Fun fact, Goldblum and Davis were actually a couple when filming this, making it all the more believable. But it's not for the faint of heart or for the full of stomachs. Do not eat when watching this film. You will feel utterly ill. Just trust me. Moving on from that, I can't end this list without talking about a witch movie. I mean, I am wearing a witch hat after all. So let's talk about the teen witch classic, Andrew Fleming's The Craft. Released in 1996, this film stars Robin Tunney, Scream Queen Neve Campbell, Rachel True, and Fairuza Balk as 14 witches in California who'd use their newfound power to get back at their high school tormentors. You may actually know of this movie from the internet. At least from what I've observed, social media adores Nancy Downs, portrayed by Fairuza Balk. You've probably heard her famous line, "We are the weirdos, mister," or even, "You don't even exist to me" speech, or even the esteemed screen cap of her holding a knife with a stare intense enough to melt the screen. I may have mixed feelings about this film, but it's iconic in its own right. The fashion, the soundtrack, the characters and atmosphere all contribute to this being a classic for teens of the 90s and present day. Its impact on me still remains. It gets a little dark by the third act, but come on, do we not expect a little darkness this month? So those were my picks. There are so many other faves that I could talk about, but we'll save that for next year. Now back to Patrick and Lucas in the studio.
Welcome back, witches! We hope you enjoyed those classic Halloween movies Kayla selected specifically for you. Speaking of Halloween movies, what about Halloween shows? Chucky is the latest slasher movie to become a TV show as it enters its third season, and it appears Chucky will be headed to the White House. Rest assured, it won't be as white when he's done with it.
Back in 2018, I remember hearing rumors going around about a popular video game franchise, Devil May Cry, getting an animated adaptation from Netflix. Then those rumors led to absolutely nothing. Fast forward 5 years later, and what does Netflix decide to reveal at their animation showcase? You guessed it, a trailer for the new Devil May Cry series. The trailer only revealed a short clip of Dante, the series' main character, with some jammin' tunes in the background before the screen switched to say coming soon. Although the trailer was brief, that didn't stop longtime fans of the series from commenting about their excitement, especially when it was also announced that the game's longtime director, Hideaki Itsuno, would also be involved as an executive producer. Staying on the topic of video games and their animated adaptations, the new Castlevania series, Castlevania Nocturne, has received a trailer for Season 2, saying that Season 2 is in production. I honestly can't wait. So without giving spoilers, I thought the first season created some interesting talking points and laid some solid foundation for the story moving forward. Needless to say, it seems like Netflix's animation crew has really been going all out lately for us video game lovers.
Oh my gosh, all this talk about movies and TV shows really has me wondering just how much people know their Halloween movies. I had the opportunity to ask a few students of LaSalle some Halloween movie trivia questions with the return of your favorite segment, Backstage Asks. Let's see how well the students of LaSalle know their spooky movies. Hi everyone and welcome to Backstage Asks, our trivial segment of Backstage Pass, where we go around and ask the students of LaSalle some questions. Today, we're going to be asking the students of LaSalle some Halloween trivia movie questions. So, I'm really curious to know if any of them will know the frightful answers to these questions. Let's find out, shall we? All right, guys, so can I get what are your guys' names?
I'm Natalie. I'm Kate.
I'm Mia.
My name is Jack.
My name is Stella.
My name's Caitlin.
Hi, I'm Micheline.
I'm Nova Wallace.
Hi, Lucas, our other host of Backstage Pass. So our first question is, what's your favorite scary movie?
I don't like scary movies.
Scream.
Of the ones I've seen, because I'm not a big horror movie guy, probably Halloween.
Maybe a good Scream movie?
Okay.
I gotta go with the basics. Disney Channel, like the Twitches movies, you know?
Oh.
Girl versus Monster.
Wait, that's a really good choice.
I would say it, probably.
I'd probably say Halloween.
Probably Saw. I don't know if that counts as scary, but it's not like crying scary. It's more of like a psychological. Yeah.
So, fun fact, my favorite movie of all time is the original Frankenstein.
What was the original title for Disney's Hocus Pocus?
Witches?
Which is universal.
Witches in Salem.
It was originally titled Halloween House, and it was more horror than it was comedy. So, because you like Halloween, this is a good question for you.
Okay.
What sort of mask does Michael Myers wear in the original Halloween?
It's a William Shatner mask.
It is, yes.
Ski mask.
Michael Myers?
No. Oh. No, that's Jason, isn't it?
It is Jason, yeah.
I don't know what kind of mask that
He's
is.
right here for reference.
Who it is?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't.
The Joker.
I was gonna say John Cena, but that's so not right.
Not Johnny Depp.
The name is William Shatner, and it was a $2 mask from a Halloween store. It was the cheapest mask they could find because they were on a low budget. So they just spray painted it white and called it a day. Next question. What horror movie was the first American film to ever show a toilet on screen?
Oh my God, where they
Oh.
open the curtain and she's like, ah!
Bloody Mary.
No, it's not it.
Psycho.
It is.
Psycho,
Yes, that's
'cause I remember
correct.
It's not I Love Lucy.
No, it's not.
Oh, because they got in trouble for that. You're gonna have to tell me.
Would it be Psycho?
It is Psycho, yeah. So what was the first horror movie to ever be nominated for an Academy Award?
First. I don't remember if it's actually classified as horror. Black Swan?
No.
Exorcist.
It is The Exorcist. You got it. Next question. What is the most commercially successful horror movie of absolute all time?
All time.
I'll give you a hint. It involves a clown.
It.
It is it. Yeah, it is. It is. Yes. Yeah. Pennywise. All right. So this one isn't a Halloween movie trivia question. It's just kind of a Halloween question. You know. What were the first ever fun-sized candy bars?
That's not a bar.
That's
Snickers?
Yes.
Snickers!
That's one of them, and then there's one more. No.
Snickers.
Yeah, Snickers. Yeah, the answer is Snickers and Milky Way.
Yay!
Yeah.
So good.
Well, that's about all the time we have today for Backstage Asks. If those questions weren't tricky enough for you, then we have way more in store for you. Let's head back to the studio for more tricks and treats. Is it just me or was there a monster on the screen, aka me? Well, anyways, the students of LaSalle did excellent, and they really had a bone to pick with some of the tricky questions I asked them. But is it even Halloween if you don't get tricked at least once? All things Halloween aside, as you may know, I had the honor of attending SZA's SOS Tour concert in Philadelphia on September 26th. And must I say, it was impeccable. The amount of details put into the set, the storyline, the outfits, it was all amazing. Also, her vocals were out of this world. I really enjoyed her performances of Prom and Snooze. Those sets were truly fantastic, and she really just let her vocals transcend the whole room. No one is doing it quite like her. This tour is beyond underrated, in my opinion. And speaking of underrated, how about the Wiggles?
The Wiggles. As an extremely serious journalist, and totally not just some psychopath who happens to host this show, I decided to take on the tough challenge of reviewing the Sound of Halloween album by the Wiggles. So, right off the bat, I have to say this is easily the weirdest album I've ever listened to. Even for a kid's album, this was just straight up bizarre. Obviously, it had some songs that were pretty meh, which I expected because, you know, it's a kid's album. But it also had some songs I liked, like The Sound of Halloween, Toilet Paper Mummy, and Witchy Woo Ooh 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 were really good. However, my biggest takeaway from this album would have to be the bizarre parody songs. Most of them were absolutely terrifying. However, the worst one that will forever be burnt into my memory is a parody song of the Itsy Bitsy Spider, where for no particular reason, the spider starts doing a Highland dance and a bagpipe solo occurs. I honestly wish I could make this up, but sadly, I'm not. In conclusion, I rate this album 6 out of 10 Highland dancing Itsy Bitsy Spiders. If you're the type of person who wants to jam out to a few kids' tunes and have a good laugh, then this album's for you. Anyway, taking a very large step back, I would like to give a short honorable mention to the legendary Japanese visual rock band, Malice Misere, for being my favorite band to listen to during Halloween time. It's a shame that this band isn't really known, but who knows, maybe that can change with a future album review.
But speaking of honorable mentions pertaining to music, can someone please turn off the light? Because Kim Petras' Turn Off the Light is the essential album you need for this spooky season. With 2 volumes consisting of 18 overall bloody tracks, Petras turns the dance floor into a massacre with spine-chilling tracks like There Will Be Blood, Close Your Eyes, and Party Till I Die. If you aren't listening to this album now, then at least make sure you listen to it in the next life. And speaking of Halloween essentials, Backstage Pass has you covered with the most frightening selection of songs for your Halloween playlist this October. You can scan the QR code on the screen to access our playlist titled Live, Laugh, Lurk, or find us on Spotify at LTV Backstage Pass. Get to listening, ghouls! But that's not all we have to offer as Halloween essentials this episode. In fact, we're just getting started. Do you need some assistance in picking out a costume to wear this year? Well, don't worry, because our friend Daniel has you covered with a quick rundown of some characters you can cosplay as this Halloween. Let's see what tricks he has up his sleeves, shall we?
Hey everyone, Daniel aka Danny J Singles is here, and as you can see, I'm guess like one of those fitness trainers. Halloween is coming soon, and that means the rush to find some cool costumes is on. I know what some of you are thinking. Will it be expensive? How long will it take to make the costumes? Is it the same as last year? Well, with my ideas, it shouldn't take too long, and it may not be as expensive as originally thought. I think dressing up like some cartoon characters might be a fun idea. Some of you could try it too. All you need is the right clothing to match. What clothes, you ask? And what characters? Here's something I have in mind. First up, Susie Carmichael from All Grown Up, the Rugrats spinoff. What do you need? Light blue crop tee, crop white leg jeans, a red headband, purple button earrings, purple Bengal bracelets, and red and white sneakers. Option 2 is Penny Proud from the Proud family. If you want to dress like her, you'll need hot pink cardigans, white long sleeve blouse, eggplant purple mini skater skirts, and purple canvas sneakers. Another idea, this one is for the boys out there, TJ Detweiler from Disney's Recess. If you want to dress like him, you need a red baseball cap, a white t-shirt, sage green bomber jacket, blue jeans, and red Converse sneakers. His next character is from a classic that I remember, Tyler from Total Drama Island and World Tour. You want to dress like him, you'll need a brown wig that's short, red and white sweatband, a red tracksuit, white Adidas sneakers with red stripes as well. Moving on, another for the girls, and this one's a real classic, Velma Dinky from the Scooby-Doo franchise. If you want to dress like her, you'll need a ladies' classy basic all around Peter skater skirt in red, Mary Jane cotton slippers in red, orange lantern sleeve turtleneck sweater, Twin City tube socks in orange, a brown straight bob wig, large square fake framed glasses in black. And there you have it, my ideas for what characters you might cosplay as on Halloween. It's too bad I won't be cosplaying any of these, but maybe you will. Only time will tell. Until then, have a safe and happy Halloween from everyone at Backstage Pass. Now, back to Kayla and her Halloween buddies. Let's just hope they don't spook her out too much.
Well, Lucas and I spooked out Kayla so much this week that she's literally rolling over in her grave. Actually, she's not. She's just not hosting this episode, but you'll see her in the next episode. And thank you so much, Daniel, for these frightful costume ideas. Those costume ideas are irresistible. You know, I kind of want to play a game this spooky season, and not the Saw kind, but oh my gourd, there's so many spooky games to choose from. However, there are just a few that are just back to the bone. Let's take a look at them, shall we? On August 18th, developer Sumo Digital released the survival horror game adaptation of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie from 1974. The game consists of 4 victims who viciously fight for their lives and attempt to escape the family of cannibals, holding them captive before it is too late.
Another great game for the spooky season is Dead by Daylight. This asymmetric multiplayer game, having been released in 2016, consists of 4 victims who attempt to escape various maps while being hunted and chased by one bloodlusted killer. The game is best known for its incorporations of characters such as Michael Myers, Laurie Strode from Halloween, Ghostface from Scream, and even Leatherface from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Obviously, there are more character additions, but those are just a few honorable mentions.
Five Nights at Freddy's is another bone-chilling series you can play this spooky season. In this game, you are a security guard working the night shift at a pizzeria as several children's animatronics hunt you down in search of blood. Likewise, this series is also receiving a movie adaptation that hits the streaming service known as Peacock alongside theaters on October 27th. So if you aren't interested in playing the game, there's a movie you can watch instead. As a fan myself, I hope they'll show and explain the Bite of 87. If you know, you know.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space is also set to release a video game adaptation of the beloved 1988 film. While the release date is yet to be announced, the developers revealed some sneak peeks of the game, and it actually seems promising and just as fun as the original movie itself. Speaking of Halloween, I often see groups of trick-or-treaters dressed as the Avengers. And you know, I'm sort of assembling my own version of the Avengers this year. Only my group consists of former Backstage Pass hosts. But that's still pretty cool, right? This episode, we have Danielle Ferrari with a segment celebrating 25 years of Backstage Pass. Take it away, Danielle.
Hi there, my name is Danielle Ferrari, and I graduated from LaSalle University in 2012. While I was an undergraduate at LaSalle, I participated in the TV and radio station programs. In fact, I was the host of Backstage Pass during the 2009 and 2010 fall semesters. I was host with my friends Eric Donovan and Elijah Elliott, and I remember for one of our intros for our show, we did a parody of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I always had a great time working on the TV show and being part of the station in general. It was a great way to hang out with friends while also gaining real life experience. If I could give some advice for our current hosts and producers, it would be to get involved as much as you can and not be afraid of trying something new. Now is the time to try things out and learn as much as you can. And LaSalle has so many great opportunities for students to take advantage of, so I encourage you to do so. I wish everyone at LaSalle all the best, and I look forward to seeing you on TV soon. Thanks.
Thank you, Danielle. The three of us will be sure to keep your advice in mind moving forward.
So, Lucas, do you have any plans for this spooky season this fall?
The spooky season, really just catching up on a lot of the things we covered.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of video game adaptations coming out.
There's so many. Netflix is really, really going in on these adaptations.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that we're finally getting the Devil May Cry games.
Right, like, and even the One Piece that just came out. I mean, they did really, really well with that adaptation. Like, seriously. So cool.
Yeah, and also, yeah, with the whole Five Nights at Freddy's, I've heard about that movie coming out for a while, but just all across the whole movie industry, it seems like there's a lot of weird video game adaptations happening.
Well, with that one, they were talking about that one since I was in middle school, and I really never thought that it would actually come out because it's one of those things where it's like, are they being serious? Are they not? But they actually were, like it's actually happening. And I'm really, really excited. I really need to know what the Bite of 87 was because it's talked about in the game, but I need to know the specifics. Okay, I need to know who did it. I need to know how it happened. I need everything. Please, Blumhouse Productions, just give us that.
I know, I wish I could kind of follow that. I wasn't really a FNAF kid growing up.
You weren't?
No.
How did you miss that?
I don't know. It seems like everyone else around was just like, yeah, it was the big thing, and I somehow missed it.
What kind of kid were you?
I was very much a Pokemon kid.
That's valid. I loved Pokemon as a kid. I used to have all the cards, used to collect them, but I was also a huge FNAF person. But yeah. Well, guys, it's the end of today's bloody show. It's also time for Lucas and I to return to the grave to scare Kayla a few times more. We hope she doesn't mind. After all, we are her Halloween buddies.
Gosh, I wonder how spooked our viewers were about our stories, thoughts, opinions, and all the content we covered today. Wish there was a way they could connect with us.
Luckily, you can through social media. Get your phone out and follow us on these various platforms seen on your screen. Give us a follow, leave a comment, and let us know if you have any suggestions. Have a great Halloween from all of us here on Backstage Pass. I'm Patrick O'Hara.
And I'm Lucas Alvin, and we'll see you next time on Backstage Pass.